need this little, just a very simple piece of metal basically with a bending to graft into the chassis here. I'm going to cut around it. Now it certainly seems that under here there's another piece of metal, so I don't quite know what I'm going to find, but this is pretty grot, so it's going to have to come out. But this is obviously welded through here as well, and this is basically where one of the front chassis members comes off, so it needs to be proper strong on there. So I'll be leaving a gap around it so that I can get some proper weld in there. But first things first, mark it ready for cut. The pen just about died. Yep. One of them pens with ink in it. Okay, make sure I finish just before that starts to curve, because I haven't made a curve. Right, I keep saying I'm at the stage where I'm not cutting any more metal out. I'm at the stage where I'm welding metal in, but I'm still cutting metal out. So I'm going to cut through here and down, and there and down, and I'm going to cut along there. Cut along there, then I'm going to very carefully cut those two, because I think that's double thick in there, and with it being double thickness I don't want to cut through the inner. Let's see if that's enough. That's obviously the piece of metal. Oh dear. Inside, which is pretty much rotted away as well, so I think I might have to rethink. I think I may have to think. So I'm going to clamp something onto the base of this rail to hold it all together while I'm doing this sort of major surgery, because looks like I am basically doing major surgery now. Gotta love them, old cars, eh? So that's nice and flat there. I've got all this mess over here. This is going to get heavy quick. Knowing that it should have the strength to support itself. Now this dips here, so I'm going to cut it just, I reckon, I drill that out and drill them out. Should be rolling. One with some cutting edges would be nice. Clamp on. That sounds more sturdy than the chassis itself, so. I've found that when the hole saw hits the surface, if you drill the pilot at the same time, it tends to wallow out the hole. I need a little bit more light on this subject. That clamp is going to be in the way, I'm guessing. I don't know, I might get away with it. A bit more quick. Okay, that's the easy bit. Slow and easy. One hole! This might move. Might be in the operative word. Don't want to throw that one away. Only trouble having a bin underneath the working area. Yeah, that's solid now. Here's a convenient piece. See, this one, although too small for that bit, is now perfect for the inside. It's almost like a planet sometimes. It's not like a planet, it's a complete accident, and based on a certain level of spawn. Spawn being the word to describe pure luck. But it doesn't really matter if it is more luck than judgment, as long as the job is done. Might get a little torch in there and get the other camera and have a little poke about. Tappy tap. Okay, so as you can see, inside the hole I've just dropped a little torch in, and that metal actually in there is actually in surprisingly good condition. So it's a bit of a shame I cut that hole out, but I can repair that as good as it was by welding a disc into here and then holding that to that and then welding them together. And then I'll use this piece to recreate that box. That's amazingly the right size. That is absolutely the right size to go in there lengthwise. So I've just got to trim the width down Trim the width down, trim it way under, weld that in, and then make the cover piece to go over the top, weld that in, and that's as strong as new, if not more. Well, I'm convinced. And I'll weld that to the inner, so that'll make the inner solid, and I'll make sure the inner is firmly held. I'm then going to weld this inside there, like that, and then, yeah, going to take this piece and I'm going to drill a hole through it, ready to be welded to that piece which will be inside of it, and then I'm going to fettle that a little bit more delicately to perfectly meet in that hole, and then I'm going to weld the whole lot together. It'll be stronger than the wood itself. I mean, it'll be stronger than the original chassis. But before I do that, I'm going to work out some way of hoovering all the debris out of the inside of this piece of chassis. Let's see if the chassis internal dross removal tool works. So I've got these clamps in here holding, luckily, the car. They're usually attacking me, but I've got this disc in here which I'm now going to just put a couple of tacks on. Time to change from grindy mode to welding mode. That's gone in there really hot because I left it on the high setting that I use for doing these plug mills, for doing that. But it's gone in well. It's totally melted the rubber pad off this clamp. I don't know anyway, really. You know, when I edit all this down, you won't see all the wandering about. You won't see me sitting here scratching my head, crying into my hands, any of that. I'll edit all that out because that's good filmmaking. I'll just show you it so that it looks like I am absolutely professional, know exactly what I'm doing, and it's utterly seamless.